Welcome to our lower back pain series, and what I want to first of all mention today, guys, is something we see a lot of is different kinds of back pain with clients we sort of work with. And there's many reasons why people might get it. It might be their activities they do in a day-to-day occurrence, or more so it's lack of activity and the fact that they're almost quite tight and quite guarded. So a couple of concepts I want you guys to think about before we actually go into the exercises today is maybe sort of rehab you've done previously or things you're doing right now may not be helping you with your lower back. So first concept I want you to think about is a lot of times when people come to us, they're in a little bit of pain, discomfort, or a little bit of tightness, and what they're doing, they create more stiffness by maybe doing a lot of planks or a lot of bracing techniques. And what we've seen and what the research has shown us is that this isn't the best way to create a healthy lower back. So the main thing we're going to think about is if movement can be varied and you've got a variety of it, it's going to be far better for our bodies. And a good analogy I always tend to use with a lot of my clients is thinking of movement a bit like a diet. I think most people are familiar with the fact that if your diet is varied, it's going to be better for you. You're going to get more nutrients and more goodness in your body. Movement is exactly the same. If we can keep it varied and we can keep it, mix it up, we're going to have far more goodness for the body. So today's focus is going to be showing you some movements you can do for your spine and some sort of rotational patterns we can do there. Then I'm going to show you a movement you can do for your hips. And then I'm going to show you a movement you can kind of combine this all together. And essentially that's the idea, is to show you guys and educate you guys how to move a little bit better and just create basically what we call like a relaxed outlook on how your body moves, because I can guarantee that's the best way for you to get results and feel a lot better. So I hope you enjoy the video today and let us know how you get on. Okay, so the first video I want to talk about today is thinking about rotating for your spine, and later on we'll talk about some rotation for the hips. But just before I get into that, I want us to think a lot about maybe our attitudes a little bit to how we're moving. So something we see a lot in practice, and we know with the research, is when people are in any sort of discomfort in any body part, their movement's going to be slow, guarded, limited, and far less variety of movement. And we know that people who are out of pain, their movement is there's more variety of it. They move faster and just freer. So if we can get you guys to move a little bit more like the people who aren't in discomfort, aren't feeling stiff, aren't in pain, they're on to a winner. So as I said, first one's about rotation today. So I'll show you straight on and I'll show you from the side. So feet, again, nice and relaxed, just about hip width apart. Don't fuss about having them the exact distance at all, just roughly about hip width apart is fine. Hands are down by the side. And all you're going to do is just throw some rotation in there. Think about sort of driving for your shoulders. So I'm going to keep my head facing forward at first, just using my shoulders, and my arms are just swinging around. And it's really relaxed. It's probably a concept I'm going to talk about so much with you guys, is keeping it free, keeping it relaxed. If you can do that, you're almost telling your body it's a safe movement. Then from there, I'm going to start to get my head involved. Again, just a few reps before I get too dizzy. But again, I'm just starting to get some of the upper spinal muscles involved as well, because when we look at the back, we don't just want to isolate it out, we want everything up and downstream from that to work well. So I'll show you from the side. So again, same idea, start my head facing forward at first, hands down by my side, and just swinging and rotating. I'm reasonably upright at this stage, and as I said, keeping it relaxed. And now I'll get my head involved. And that is your first movement, guys. Okay, the next video then, we're thinking about rotation for your hips. So first of all, what we want to do, guys, is have your feet again about hip width apart. This time actually I want you to have your hands on your hips, so you've just got a bit of sort of mental connection towards that part of your body essentially, and you're mindful of what's going on in this part. So hands on your hips, and literally all you're going to do is think about just twisting side to side. And I'm literally just seeing how much my hip will basically rotate side to side. So again, keep them relaxed and nice and fluid. And then from there, what I want to get you to do is do it in a split stance, so you can kind of put the focus into either side of your sort of pelvis. So right leg forward, and literally just from there, I'm just going to let my hip twist across and wind through. So I'm just sort of winding up and unwinding essentially. Keep it nice and relaxed. I'll just show you how it's going to look from the side as well. So I'm going to focus on the right leg still, and I'm going to do hands on top of my hips, like I said, and I'm just letting it sort of twist side to side. Okay, so key points to think about there. First of all, as always, keeping your body relaxed. Maybe as you go, develop the speed and the tempo if you feel comfortable with it, and of course listen to your body. You know, if you feel a little bit sort of stiff in areas, they're the areas you actually want to work on, because essentially you're trying to tell your body movement is safe, movement is good, and make your body feel so much better. Okay, so this next video is basically combining with everything we've worked on together. So just to recap, the first video I was thinking a lot about rotation through my torso and my sort of spine, and I was twisting across. The second one was thinking a lot more about what's going on in the hips and getting some rotation through that area. So now then, combined it all together. So I'm going to focus on my right side first of all. Let's have a little step across. I'm adding a step to increase the rotation in this hip. As I'm stepping, I'm also going to step right open here. So you can see this hip is sort of basically internally and externally rotating there. Basically twisting in and twisting out. And as I do that, I get my arms involved. So I'm just going to swing through, swing around. So if we can go for probably about 10, 12 reps. Once I've done those, I'll crack on the other side. So maybe I'll start on just stepping through. And then I can start to get my arms involved. And same again this side, 10, 12 reps. Nice and fluid, nice and relaxed. And if you wanted to, of course, you can speed up a little bit as you go.